Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome to a brand new series here on my channel. This is Broken Sword 2, The Smoking Mirror. This is a remastered version of this game. It's a point and click adventure game. I have played Broken Sword 1 here on my channel earlier on, I think it was last year sometime. And I've decided I want to go through the entire series of this. I think there's five and a half. There's a fan-made one as well, just after this one. Games in this series, and I'm going to go through all of them. The episodes for this will be slightly longer than my usual episodes, I think anyway. I'm going to try and make them between 30 to 40 minutes, around there, because there's a lot to get in this game, and it's difficult to partition off into specific, like 20-minute episodes. So we're going to be running a kind of long version of this. I'm going to try and go through the entire thing and let the dialogue run through as well. I got a lot of good feedback on my last series, including from Revolution themselves. They are the people that make this game. If you don't know the story of this game, go back and watch my Broken Sword 1 series and have a look into this game series and make sure you get it for yourself. It's very, very well recommended. So we are going to start a new game here, and we're going to see two people, Nico Collard and George Stobbart. They are the two people that we will play in this game. Let's go.
This must be the place. Professor Ubier's house.
Looks pretty creepy. I'd been away from Paris and hadn't seen Nico for nearly 6 months. I wanted to celebrate our reunion, but she had other plans. An appointment with an archaeologist. Something to do with a Mayan stone she came across while researching a story. The guy who answered the door didn't look much like an archaeologist to me. I had a bad feeling about this.
And here we are in the game. So this huge spider crawling towards us. Now I have played this game before, and I can remember how to get out of this particular scenario. So we have a huge spider here, and one of the nice things in this game, I know a lot of people play through these as like a speed run or something, and I'm not going to do that. I want to actually go through and show you some of the things that other playthroughs might not. Some of the other dialogue options and how it can actually go wrong, how you might be able to die and we have to reload and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to have the full game experience rather than just trying to speed run through it. So we're going to have a look at some of these things.
There were only 3 things I didn't like about spiders. The way they looked, the way they moved, and the fact that they lived on the same planet as me. This spider was
fair
big,
enough, I suppose.
mean, and hairy, and definitely not a native of Europe.
No, it definitely doesn't look like a European spider. Anyway, we've got this, we've got a drawer here. We can't actually get over to
I
there.
thought that I ought to free myself before examining the furniture.
Yeah. So we've got this bookcase here. So we
I
move
glanced
over
over the
to
books, vaguely
the
hoping to
bookcase.
find a copy of How to Deal with Poisonous Spiders While Tied to a Chair. No such
that
luck.
would be useful.
But I noticed one corner of the bookcase was supported by a loose block of wood.
Okay, so if we go block of wood here, kick that out,
Maybe I'd
that
been a little
destroys the
heavy-handed,
spider.
but it was a question of survival. Of course, I was still tied to a chair in a burning house with no means of escape.
We do have this metal bracket on the wall here. There we go.
With one mighty bound, our hero was free. Now,
Go George.
I had to deal with that fire.
George. Right, so over here, next to a door, we have a small fire that hasn't quite spread yet. Over here. So
I wasn't going to touch the box.
let's just have a look at some of the other stuff we've got. We've got this dart. You can take the dart. That was the
That
one they
dart
got
was sharper
Nicole
than
with.
Mosquito's business end. But this didn't deter me from getting it anyway.
Let's have a look at the drawer.
In the drawer was a small decorated pot.
So we'll take that. And then we should be able to open up this top bit as well. The writing bureau.
Inside, I found a bottle of tequila.
So we'll take the
Normally,
tequila.
I didn't drink strong spirits, but today was far from normal. Ew. Disgusting. Not only did the tequila burn like hell, I just managed to stop myself from swallowing the worm.
And then
There
we'll
was
get the worm.
something short, fleshy, and gross on the carpet. It was the worm from the bottle of tequila.
So, is there anything else? We've got the writing bureau.
There was
Drawer.
nothing else in.
Writing bureau. I'll close that down. Pick up Nicole's bag.
It was a stylish little canvas number containing a lipstick, a handwritten note, and a pair of nylon panties with a large love heart emblazoned across the front. It occurred to me that Nico's tastes must have really changed while I was away. Well, they could be useful.
Okay, so we're not actually going to take the bag. We have our inventory down here, so we can see we have a worm, a lipstick, pair of panties, a small pot, handwritten note.
I guess I had no business reading the note, but I figured it might give me a clue to what Nico was involved in. It was from André Labanau, the history student Nico had known at college. The letter was sentimental mush, and revealed that the exotic lingerie, as he called it, was a gift from him. It gave his telephone number. Labanau figured himself as a rival for Nico's affections, but I couldn't believe that that creep was in the running.
And then we have a small little
Pot
pot.
contained a key.
Okay, so we have another key now as well. If we come over here, there's a soda siphon here.
There was no pressure in the siphon. I guess it was out of gas.
And in this cabinet,
The cabinet was locked.
do I have the key for that cabinet? Is that the key?
The key was
Maybe I used the dart.
As I released the lock, something blew the doors open.
So we have a cylinder here.
That cylinder was hot. I couldn't pick it up with my bare hands.
So we can use the panties to pick it up.
The panties I'd found in Nico's bag were just what I needed to wrap around the hot cylinder.
There's one use for them, I suppose. And then we can pick up the siphon. Or do I need to use the gas on it first? Yeah.
There was no pressure in the...
Fortunately, the AI in this game is non-existent, so you do actually have to go through and use things with everything. There's no kind of, oh, you've got the gas in your inventory, so when I pick this up, it uses the gas automatically.
Huh? Now I had one primed up and ready to use extinguisher.
So, with the flames.
With a well-aimed squirt of his soda fountain, our unshakable hero saved the day. Now it was time to start looking for Nico.
Excellent. Right, now we can head out the door. There we go.
I wasn't going to burn myself on that red-hot doorknob, and it wasn't the time for subtlety.
Completely unnecessary. So, here we have a telephone and news cutting. We have a door here. Let's see.
It was locked.
So will that key fit into this door? Come on. Key used with door.
The house key didn't fit this lock.
Nope. Might be for this door. But let's have a look at the news cutting first.
I'd found a piece of newspaper folded in two. It referred to a forthcoming eclipse of the sun. Unfortunately, it wouldn't be visible from Europe. The best place to view the eclipse would be Mexico.
And
Much as I
then
disliked him, Labano might be my
we talked
only
to
hope
Labano.
of finding Nico. Hi, Andre?
Who is this?
It's George Stobbart, Nico's boyfriend.
Don't you mean ex-boyfriend?
Look, I didn't call you just to pick a fight. I need to talk to you about Nico.
Can't you accept she's just not interested in you?
Listen, Andre, we need to talk. Nico's life depends on it.
Okay. You remember the cafe at Montfaucon?
Sure. Andre? You'd better show, you creep. I felt an irrational urge to wipe my ear.
Labano's really creepy in this. So we'll go out the door.
The door was locked. I didn't fancy my
course.
chances.
So this is what this is for.
I unlocked the door. I wasn't looking forward to meeting Labano again, but he was my only link with Nico.
There's a few places in this game that you'll
There was
recognise
no
from
sign
a
of
previous
Labano when
one.
I got to the cafe.
This is
I
one of
decided to order a coffee and wait for him.
And some recurring characters. This guy was there in the last game as well.
Pardon me, but don't I know you?
Huh?
You were here the day I found the catacombs.
I was? Ah, yes. I remember you.
Yeah. Are you still in the police force?
No, not anymore. I'm a man of leisure. And what brings you back to Paris?
I'm gonna say Nico.
My girlfriend.
What it is to be young and in love. Will you share a bottle of wine with me?
Hey, listen, I'd love to, but I need to keep a clear head.
So my company isn't good enough for you.
Let's talk about him.
Why did you leave the police?
I was forced to retire. The golden handshake. Only in my case it was more copper than gold.
How come?
I was made a scapegoat to cover up the department's inefficiencies.
Have you ever
What's this
heard of
one?
a Professor
Ah,
Ubier?
Professor Rubier.
No, monsieur. I don't recall the name.
Well, apparently he's an expert on Mayan art and history.
A little out of my field of experience, monsieur. If he'd been a serial killer or a sodomite, I might have been able to help.
So we have to speak to the gendarme again. See if he knows anything about
What
dart.
do you make of this dart?
I remember a case where the victim was killed with just such a device. The poison acted in seconds, causing his body to swell up like an inflatable life raft.
So hopefully that didn't happen to Nico. By the way, I'm sorry about the audio in this. I'm only hearing it out of my right ear, left ear at the moment. I've got the headphones on backwards. Yeah, it might sound a little bit weird. I might try and fix that in post-editing if I can. Try and get it to mono to make that sound a little bit better. But we will see as the game goes through how that progresses. So let's talk about the eclipse.
What do you make of this news cutting?
Orphanage supplied fast food chain?
No, it's the article above that.
Oh! Total eclipse of the sun. Well, that's very dull in comparison. I don't know anything about eclipses.
And then finally, handwritten note.
Tell me what you make of this note.
From my years of experience, I gained a pretty good insight into handwriting. I'd say that note was written by a compulsive, obsessive type with an Oedipus complex.
Hey, you got just about everything apart from the ponytail.
Right, so we've spoken to him about everything. There's a flask there. We can see if we can
Couldn't
grab that.
snatch the man's flask while he was looking.
Okay. Now you can see the audio is in stereo. So it's just some of the conversations that we have with people might be a little bit weird with the audio only coming out of one ear. So we've got to wait for this waiter to come back out and hopefully then talk to him. That might give us some more conversation options. It's one thing about this game, you do have to wait. It does have some timed events. So here we go. Here is the waiter. Also, it has a lot of animations that take a long time.
Garçon. He ignored me. I'm sure it was deliberate.
So let's again talk to the gendarme.
What's that you're drinking?
It's wine.
So maybe when this guy comes out.
The man was still looking.
Maybe it's when the waiter comes out. I have to grab it.
The man was still...
Let's talk to
Hey,
the waiter
you.
again.
What?
I'd like a cup of coffee if you don't mind.
When I finish serving this gentleman.
Okay.
The man was... I had nothing else.
Right, so let's... here's my cup of coffee.
Un café.
Thanks.
Let's talk about the
Do you know that
gendarme.
man over there?
I should think so. He's a regular customer.
And about
Do you know a
Lobino.
guy called Andre Lobino?
Oui, I know him. What of it?
I'm supposed to meet him here. Did I miss him?
No, I have not seen him today.
About Professor
Have you
Oubier.
heard of Professor Oubier?
Oui. He married that actress, the little dachshund. They used to come here. The nutty professor and the movie star.
If Oubier's wife was a movie star, how come I never heard of her?
She was big in France. The world doesn't stop at Hollywood. Her stage name was Carol Climax. She died in suspicious circumstances.
How did Oubier's wife die?
I heard he shot her.
And got away with it?
He had a good lawyer and a watertight alibi.
Why would an eminent public figure like Oubier risk everything for murder?
He wouldn't be the first, would he? Besides, people like him always get off.
So there we go. Bit of background about Oubier.
Look at this. A poisoned dart.
Ah oui, sure.
It's the real thing. Knocked my girlfriend out cold in a matter of seconds.
Romantic. Sounds like a real close relationship you have going.
So one thing I love about this game and this whole game series is the little bit of witty banter and the comedy in the dialogue. and the fact that there are some things that you just keep in your inventory all game and you ask people about it. I think in the first one it was like an electric handshake buzzer type thing, and everyone you meet you had the option to try and shake their hand with this electric buzzer, and they'd say, "No, I recognise that as a joke." But eventually it comes in useful.
What does that guy keep pouring out of his flask?
Absinthe.
Absinthe? I thought that was highly dangerous and outlawed in France.
It is. Don't look at me, I didn't sell it to him.
That's all.
Thank you.
Okay, here's Lebanon.
Well, this is a surprise, Georgie.
Just remember, this game was
I wouldn't
made
normally call
before hipsters were a thing.
But Nico's in trouble, Andre. Deep trouble. You have to help me find her.
What? What have you dragged her into this time?
It was you that recommended Professor Oubier as an expert on Mayan art. Now his butler has kidnapped her, and he tried to kill me.
Every time she gets involved with you, there is trouble. Walking out on her was the best thing you could do.
My father was dying, damn it. I had no choice.
Well, she soon recovered once she went back to her old friends.
Drop it, Andre. Right now, Nico's in danger, and we have to work together.
So, how can I help?
Nico needed to speak to Oubier about a stone.
Oh, you mean this stone?
So that's what all the trouble's about.
Precisely. Nicole told me to guard it with my life.
Well, it's worth more than that, surely.
Oh, very funny.
What's funny is that your life really is on the line.
What are you talking about?
The stone is a Mayan artifact, dummy, and the guy who kidnapped Nico was from Central America. It was the stone they were after.
Oh my god, you mean I could be in danger too?
Yeah, he is the eternal coward. So which should we go for first? Let's have a look at the Jaguar
What do you
stone.
suppose the carving on the stone means?
I don't know. I haven't shown it to anyone.
Why don't you just give it to me?
I don't want your death on my conscience, George.
Where did Nico get the stone?
I'm not sure I should tell you.
Oh, you should.
It was something to do with smuggling.
Why didn't Nico take the stone to Oubier?
I don't know. Perhaps she suspected something like this would happen.
If she's been hurt, Andre, I'll break every bone in your body.
No, that's typical of you. Do you think I don't care what happens to Nicole?
It occurred to me that slugs don't have bones to break, but I kept that thought to myself. Tell me about your friend Oubier.
He's more of a professional acquaintance than a friend.
I see. So you don't really know him at all.
No, I don't.
Does Oubier employ a guy from Central America?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so we've gone through all the relevant stuff. Maybe the pot is relevant?
What can you tell me about this pot?
South or Central American, I'd say. I have a friend who'd be able to tell you more.
Where can I find this guy?
He owns a gallery on the left bank. The Gliese Gallery.
Ah, yes it is. I remember that bit. It's a funny scene later on. Number 1.
What do you think this is, Andre?
I don't know.
I'll give you a clue. It's got more backbone than you.
You think you're amusing, don't you?
It was quite good.
See you later.
Goodbye, Georgie.
Okay, so we didn't get a huge amount of information off him. We got a couple of leads. Meanwhile, several hundred
I've had enough
kilometers
of your
away.
games, Collard. Tell me what you've done with my stone.
I thought your business was simply smuggling cocaine, Karzak. Why are you so interested in that stone?
Either you tell me what I want to know, or Pablo here will make you talk.
Okay. Well, I figured someone at the university would be able to help. So I had a word with one of my girlfriends, and she told me her boyfriend was a lecturer. I sent the stone to the Department of Ethnology. You know, I figured it was South American, so... You're not buying this, are you?
That's enough. I don't have time to listen to your mindless prattle. We'll leave you to think it over. Come the morning, you'll be ready to talk.
So we have the bad guy from Small Soldiers there. So who he always reminds me of. I think any military villain reminds me of the villain in Small Soldiers. So I need to try and get this flask off him. So if I talk to the waiter first, and then there should be some point where we can actually grab this.
Anything else?
There was nothing I wanted to... The man was still...
Right, so we do have some more options
Do
here.
you miss being a gendarme?
Yes, of course I do. When I wore that uniform, I commanded respect. Not anymore.
So now we grab it. There we go.
I grabbed the flask and was struck by a powerful smell of absinthe, a highly potent and illegal alcoholic drink. Excuse me.
What?
So we've done that. We can have a bit of a more of a talk to him. I'm going to leave him for now. I'm going to talk about the
Ever
movie
heard of
star.
Carol Climax, the movie star?
Yes, but I don't care for the kind of movie she's made. It's smut like that which has caused the moral decline of the Western world.
So she was a porn star.
Is it true that Carol Climax was murdered by her husband?
First I heard of it. I thought she just retired.
And then talk about Nico.
I'm trying to find my girlfriend. She's been kidnapped.
Kidnapped?
Yeah, it was our first day back together after many months.
That's too bad. My God, that's depressing.
There was a
Excuse
little
me.
bit more
Leave me
dialogue
alone.
we could do with him. And so now, can we just get
I
up
had
and
no
go?
desi- Excuse me.
What?
I'd been looking forward to seeing my girl, but she wanted to rush off to see some professor.
I see. And you think she's having an affair with this professor?
Look, forget it. It doesn't matter. Didn't you try to appeal against your dismissal?
There was no point. It was my word against that of the chief inspector. And he was a close friend of the director of the museum I was supposed to be patrolling.
That sounds like something we did. I think that might be our fault. In the first game we broke into a museum.
Excuse me.
What?
Which museum was it you were supposed
yeah,
to be
here we go.
patrolling?
The Kroon. It wasn't as if anything important was stolen. Just a rusty old tripod.
The tripod I'd returned a few weeks later.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Leave me alone.
You need anything?
There was nothing I want.
Okay, so can we actually leave out of here at all? Can't remember if there's anything else we need to do.
Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted that. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted.
Just gonna go through the different options here.
Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted. Excuse me.
What?
He wouldn't have wanted.
You need anything else?
The waiter.
That's all.
Thank you.
Right,
Now
yes, we can
I had
actually
another
leave.
lead. I could either go back to Ubier's house or visit the Glee's gallery.
And I think that is a good place to leave it for today. We've got the basic outline of the story down, and yeah, next episode we will be going off to the Glee's gallery and see what we can find out about this pot that we have. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will. See you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.